Hey everyone, it's Alicia here at New VA Advice. I'm coming to you today to answer a question that I hear all the time. You may have asked yourself. I know I did. And the question is, where do I start with my virtual assistant business? So you may have done the research and decided that this is right for you, but now you're a bit overwhelmed, right? There's a lot of information out there. What do you do first? What do you need to have? Where do you start with setting up your VA business? Okay. You decided you want to do it. Now what? What's next? What things do you need to set up? I'm going to share with you today 2 things you need to start with. Okay. It's just 2 because I'm all about eliminating overwhelm. Okay. So let's break it down into simple steps. First 2 things you need to think about. What are your services going to be? And is there a viable market that will pay you for those services? Okay, like I said, simple, breaking it down. What are your services going to be? And who will pay you for those services? Okay, so let's start with services. I always tell people, think about what you do now, maybe in your current job, if you have a job right now, or past jobs, or volunteer experience, or even life experience. What skills do you have? It's going to take you some time. I'm not saying you're just going to sit down and come up with them all at once, because I'll tell you, a lot of these things, they may come to you naturally and you're just good at them, but other people aren't necessarily just good at them. So what do other people ask you for help with all the time? Or what are you doing at your job that you excel at, that you just do and you're good at it? Okay, so think about the skills that you have now. That's where you start. First and foremost, don't worry about, learning 5 other skills and having a certification for each of those things and all of that. You have to start somewhere. If you want it to be a viable business, something which means that people are going to pay you money in this business, you have to start with something that you know. What can you offer right now to make this real? Okay, so start with those services. Now, when you're looking at that list of things that you're good at, that you know how to do and that you rock at, I also want you to only consider out of that list the ones that you like to do, okay? Because yes, you could put different services on your site or put it out there to people and say, I can do X, Y, Z. But if you don't love doing those things, you're going to start resenting your business and those clients, okay? So if you've made a list of things that you're really good at and skills that you have that you could turn into services, and maybe one of those doesn't light you up, I suggest that you don't start with it. I know that you want to get started. I know that you want to make money. I know you want to get that first client under your belt. Trust me, I've been there. But don't pick the things that you don't like doing. So let's say, for example, you made that list, and let's say one of the things you wrote down that you're good at is bookkeeping, but you don't really like to do it. It just drives you nuts. You're tired of it now. Maybe you do it in your current job and you're good at it, but you just don't want to do that. Please don't offer that as a service. You're going to be tired of it in your business too. It will be no different for you, okay? So focus on the ones that you're good at. Like I said, yes, down the road, you can add more services. You can do more things. You will add and subtract those as you go. You can take courses. Great, but I'm talking about right now to get started. Your basics. Like I said, services is the first one, okay? So you make that list and you think about it. And then the next piece that I said was, you need a viable market who has a problem that you solve with your services, and then they will pay you to solve that for them, okay? So how do you figure this out? Well, you can look at current clients that you deal with in your current business. Let's say if you're working full-time or part-time right now, what kind of clients do you work for there? Do you offer these services to them already? The other thing to think about are your passions, your hobbies. What are you interested in? What do you do outside of your work time? Is there a possibility that you could work with that industry and provide your services to them? That's often something that I find is a really good match for people and something they don't even consider, okay? So think about that. I often tell people the story. I had a client who figured out her services and was really stuck on the whole target market part and knew that we have to pick something to start somewhere. We started talking about her hobbies, and she was very interested in the health and wellness industry and essential oils. And it was like a light bulb moment for her. She realized that, yes, she could offer the services she came up with to that market. And she already had experience in that market. She knew where those people hung out online. She knew what kinds of products they bought. She knew the terminology that they used. So it was a great fit for her. So that's something I want you to consider with this target market. So another piece of the puzzle that comes with finding this market, like I said, is think about who you work with now in your current or past jobs. Think about your passions or interests and if that industry could be an industry you serve. And then do some research to make sure that these people could pay you for what you do and that would work out for you. So how do you do that? Well, you can get involved in groups with other VAs, like, for example, my Virtual Assistant Empowerment Facebook group, and ask around or do some searching in the group with keywords to see if any current VAs do work with that market right now and if they're finding this to be a viable option for them. I'm not saying you're going in and stealing clients. That's not what it's about. I'm all about collaboration, not competition. There is room for everyone. We all have unique skills and abilities and backgrounds, and that makes different clients resonate with different people, and that's the way of the world. Think about it with anything else, okay? There could be 5 hairdressers. You're not going to pick all 5 of them and just randomly go to different ones. There's one that resonates with you for particular reasons, right? So clients are going to be the same with you. So ask other VAs, check those groups. Like I said, the Virtual Assistant Empowerment Facebook group. Ask people who they're working with, or tell them this is the market I'm thinking of working with and the services I want to offer. Is this something you do? Is it working out for you? Then do some search on Google. Google can be your friend for this. Check social media platforms or set up Google alerts for certain keywords for your target market. See if they're searching for someone who does what you're thinking of doing, okay? Check them out. See if they're out there. Another way to find out, do you know anyone in this target market? Do you have friends or colleagues or clients that you could just ask them some questions and say, hey, would you pay somebody to do this for you? I'm not pitching anything to you or selling anything to you right now. I'm doing market research because that's what this is, right? Just like if you were to start any other kind of business, you do a little market research. So you investigate them, check them out online. If you know these people, ask them. Make a short survey. I've had a client do that as well. She knew a number of people in the industry she wanted to work with, made a short survey to ask them, is this something that you would pay for and how? And that worked really well for her to know if she should continue moving forward. Okay, so that's my advice for you today. Like I said, 2 simple broken down things you need to do to start your VA business. When you're feeling that crazy overwhelm, where do I start? What do I do? Break it down to this first. You need some type of services that you rock at and that you love to do. And then you need a market who is willing to pay for those services that you also enjoy working with. Okay. How can you find out more about this information and work it for yourself? I know that's always a question because, yes, you can get this generic information and work on it on your own, but how do you apply it to you and your business, right? 2 ways. First, and I'll give you links below wherever you're seeing this video. First, you can grab my free challenge and go through that yourself called 5 Days. It's the 5-Day Activate Your VA Business Challenge. It will go through 2 of these steps in more detail, the whole services and market, as well as other steps as far as starting your business. Second way, come and join us in the VA Startup Mastermind. It's an awesome program where you will get all the resources in one place, like all of these setup pieces, for example, like I talked about today, services and market, plus all the other stuff you're thinking about, the legal stuff and the business stuff, and what am I putting on my website, and how am I figuring out my rates. All of that is in the VA Startup Mastermind, as well as live calls with me and other people who are going through the same thing. So we're all learning together from each other. You'll have the calls and you have a Facebook group and then this great resources section with all the stuff. Okay, so you get the stuff, but then you get the support and the questions answered to use this for your particular situation with your particular business. Okay. So I hope this helped you today to cut out that overwhelm and take some steps to get started to see if this is right for you. And like I said, I will also give you resources for the 2 things that I mentioned if you want to not just watch this video, but take some action and make this happen for you. Okay, so leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.